Marriage should be fun, fulfilling, and full of joy, but too often, outside voices try to define what it should look like. Your Best Marriage Now is here to challenge the norms and help couples build a relationship that feels right for them. Hosted by Rashima and Jack Mountain, this podcast is all about embracing the freedom to love, laugh, and grow together. We believe in living at your own address, meaning your marriage should reflect your values, your happiness, and your vision. Join us as we share real conversations, practical insights, and plenty of fun along the way. Let's dive in together.
Welcome to Your Best Marriage Now. This is Jock and Rashima Mountain, and this is our weekly episode of talking to you about how we love marriage. So, hey, for those of y'all first time getting on, we have been married right at 20 years now. In about 2 months, we're going to hit the 20-year mark, so we're excited about that. But we want you to know that marriage is fun. Mm-hmm. Marriage is good. You can have a good marriage, and last week, if you were on with us, we were talking about what a real man needs, what a real woman needs, and getting away from these blanket statements that you hear so much on social media that seems like you can tell everybody in America what a man needs when it's not all the same.
Right.
We are not the same. All women are not the same. So last week we got into that. So if you missed that, hey, go check that out last week where we talked about some of the details and the custom things that go with each individual. So you wanted to get into this part two of what people really need. And one of the things that we stressed last week was live at your own address.
Yes.
With your own spouse.
Yes.
I don't need to know what every woman in the country needs.
Please don't.
Please don't. I won't.
Please don't. If we're going to continue to have your best marriage now,
right?
Please don't come here with that.
I don't need to know that.
And you don't want me come telling you like, well, Jock, you know every man needs. You be like, well, what men you been talking to?
How many men do you know? How do you know what they need so well? We don't need to know.
We don't need to know that.
You need to know about the person you are with.
Yes.
And here's the thing. The misconception is, if I go and read this book about what every man needs, what every woman needs, I listen to this podcast and I bring it home and it doesn't work, then you're like, oh, well, what am I supposed to do? And that's where we get back to what we call the 3 C's. Communication, compromise, and commitment. Talk to the person you are with. Listen to the person you are with. Let them tell you, this is what I need. And I think sometimes out of our own stubbornness.
It is.
That's what it is, our own stubbornness.
I call it the stubborn standoff.
The stubborn standoff.
Yeah.
We feel like, well, I'm just going to keep doing this because this is what they said.
Yes.
And you're not married to they. You're married to me or to her. You don't need to know. Some of this information is good. We talked about the 5 love languages. Some of those are great. Well, all 5 of them are great.
Yeah.
But just coming home and trying to use all 5 won't work if your spouse doesn't need all 5.
Right.
You just keep telling them how wonderful you are. You're so amazing. You're such a good father. You're an amazing wife. And they're like, but when we going to cuddle?
Right.
Because I want to be touched.
Yes.
And then if you all touching them all the time, they're like, why you always touching me?
Yes. And it's not always about you. It's about both of us and listening to what the person needs, because I communicated about what my needs were, quality time, physical touch. He didn't need that. He needed words of affirmation.
That's it.
But you know what? They change.
They do.
And we have both evolved.
Yes.
And we were in a season a couple of years ago. I realized I needed words of affirmation.
And here was another thing. You didn't need words of affirmation in one area, but in another area, you did.
Man, that is so good.
You didn't need words of affirmation as a wife, as a mother, but stepping into business full time, you needed words of affirmation saying that you were doing a good job.
Yes, because I was so wife, I was so mom for so long, and then to come rule and lead with you, I tried to come in and be the boss. But I was trying to prove something. And I needed to know that I was good. And I remember us laying in bed one night and you just said, babe, you valuable in marriage and business, both and.
Right.
And thank you so much. But that wouldn't have worked on Susie 3 doors down the street,
Exactly.
you know, because Susie may not be in business.
Right.
And even if she is, she may be at a place where she's good.
Right.
And it's not for you to tell her that. It was for you to tell me that, because you saw me and you knew I needed that from you. I didn't need that from Frank 4 doors down the road. I needed it from you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we get to the point where we realize that we're not at 10 in every area. We're not making straight A's across the board.
Yeah.
I'm not making straight A's as a husband, a father, a business owner, a coach, a mentor, a mentee. Like, hey, you know what? I might be A as a father today. I might be kind of C- as husband.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might be A+ as brother and might be D- as uncle. You know, it's like we're not always scoring the highest score. So sometimes we do need, hey, you know what? I think you did do a good job on that. Even though it didn't turn out the way you wanted, you did your best.
Right.
Hey, you know what? I think you probably could have handled the kids a little better than that, because you were a little rough, a little abrasive. Last time you were abrasive at work. This time it didn't need to be that way.
Yeah.
We're just not always on point like that. So I think the needs change could be based on the situation.
Yep.
Based on the person, the subject, the topic. And then we evolved.
Yeah.
We got older. The needs from when we were 20, 30 versus 40, 50,
Yeah.
they're different.
Yeah.
They're different. And that's where the communication is so important, because you need to be in tune with your spouse. You need to know what is most important to them, because we know we built our marriage on being friends. And from early on when we got married, we declared we were going to be out the box.
Yes.
That was something we talked about from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, we're just not going to be the average people. We got married differently.
Yes.
We got married on a Thursday.
At 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock on a Thursday in the chapel with 40 people there, because we weren't going to wait for a Saturday and spend all this money on a wedding we didn't have.
Did not have.
We didn't have.
Didn't.
Yeah. So we started out the box.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're telling people. Live at your own address. Because you may, and I'm talking to single people, you may want to be married and you say, man, I'm looking for a venue and I don't have money for a reception and this, that, and the other, but we really love each other and we're really prepared. You should get married.
Yeah.
Have Big Mama them come and y'all should go ahead and make it happen, because the production, the wedding day production, doesn't determine whether or not you're going to make it.
That's for somebody that's thinking about and praying about if this is the right direction I need to go. Y'all pick that up.
Yeah.
So, but what about what a real man needs? Like what all men need, especially on the, let's say, the spiritual side, you know, because we're believers, we go to church. Man, the expectations for y'all is high.
That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate.
And, you know, I held you to a lot of those
my
standards.
gosh.
I didn't outwardly say, you the head of the house and you should do this and you should do that. But deep down, my
what does that even mean?
babe, you know.
And that's where we get out with these definitions. Head of the house, train your children up in the way they should go. A good man rules his house well. It's like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
What does that look like? And then what it looks like to me may not be what it looks like to another man.
Because I know we've copied in certain parts, even though we were being out of the box, but there were certain times we copied what we saw other people that we respected, what we saw them do.
Mm-hmm. Even if it didn't fit us, we
It
just
didn't
tried
fit.
to do it.
We just tried
to do it anyway.
And then we had to talk about, you know, I don't really like that.
Right.
And it wasn't a disrespect to them because they were living at their own address.
There you go.
And they were walking in what worked for them. And we needed to do the same.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to realize, number one, I had to learn to pray on my own.
Yes.
And I didn't need to be coming to you every time we had a problem in the family.
Yes.
And I didn't know that it was putting pressure on you.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it was something happening, I realized I could get my own Bible and I can read. Johnny went down to get, you know, I could read. and learned to say on my own to God, okay, I need some help with this. And so for me, looking at you differently is what helped. What for me, I feel like it helped you to relax a little bit. But there were times that I felt like that underlying pressure to know. And I remember there was a season when we were going through financially like real bad, like with the house, the mortgage, the car, you know, man, it was like everything around us felt like it was crumbling. And I remember, well, I'm just going to go to Jock. And you didn't know how to say, well, I don't know what to do. And I didn't know how that made you feel, like when I used to come to you like that.
Made me feel like I didn't know what to do. I was like, I don't know what to do. Ain't never been here before. And that's the unfortunate part. Well, a real man to know what to do. A real man to know how to go out here and get these bills paid. And real man, but I didn't make the bills by myself.
Right.
I didn't get us behind by myself. We had a number of situations happen. I had a brand new car. My son wrecked my brand new car and totaled it.
Yeah.
The insurance didn't want to pay for it. So now I'm trying to pay a note on a car I don't even have.
Yeah.
Plus I need a new vehicle. And then something happened with the business. And then it was just back. I've never been here before.
Right.
So how can I be expected to have the answer to something I've never been through?
But you're supposed to pray and bring me peace as a woman.
And who praying for me? That's what I need to know, because I needed peace too. I needed some peace. Yes. So
it's like, this is the stuff that go on.
It's fairy tales, man. It's like,
ooh, that's good.
It's fairy tales.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, listen, how about we just have a real financial talk? We're behind on this. This happened. I've never been here before. You've never been here before. We've reached out to people. Nobody knows what to do. So let's call some of these companies.
Yep.
Right now, I don't need to sow a seed. Right now, I need to. Yeah, I don't need to sow a seed right now. I need
That's
to,
good.
because I need all the money I got.
That's good, Jock. This is
right.
Y'all catch, because this is what we did called living at our own address.
Yes.
And go ahead.
I mean, I'm out here now. Like,
yeah,
I can't tithe right now. Because if I pay this tithe,
we out here. Yeah,
we not gonna have nowhere to live.
And that was we would have lost
been homeless.
Our mortgage,
yes.
our home.
Yes.
They would have foreclosed on us.
Yes. So I can't tithe right now because I'm gonna lose my home.
And that was hard for me.
Yes.
Because I was very lost.
Exactly.
If it did not support what I had read and what I had been taught, man, I gave you such a hard time.
Right, but I wasn't gonna lose my house. I wasn't gonna lose my car for the sake of, and it was like, and if God, you that angry with me because I had to take care of my family, then I'm serving the wrong one anyway.
Yes.
I'm in the wrong thing. I might need to be over here with the other folks doing something else.
Yes.
Because if you require this of me in the sake of, okay, even if I did mess up, I had bad financial management, but I need to save my home.
Yes.
I need to make sure my family got a roof over their head. So I'm not going to give you this generous offering, required offering, whatever offering you want to put on it. Right now, I got to save my household.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that. And if you hold that against me, then we good. I'm gonna keep it moving.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like certain times, like that's real talk.
That's what we had to. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to talk about that for us.
For us.
And we had to stop copying.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. That's why we so live at your own address.
Right. Like I ain't had no faith to sow no seed in a situation like that. These people want their money. I got the money. I'm gonna give it to them.
And you started talking to me about, well, how does that make us look? That we have this money and then we go give it somewhere else, but we told them we would give it to them.
Lack of integrity.
That's what, yes.
It's like you can go and give it to your organization or to your church, which doesn't require it. But then you didn't give it to Toyota and Nissan when you signed a contract with them.
Yeah.
So it's like it's still a contradiction. So I was just like, listen, we got to maintain this household.
Yeah.
And then God blessed us. We got back on track. Things worked out. We made phone calls to the people. They took some payments, put them on the back end. Like we did some stuff in the natural.
And that caused me to respect you more because you stood up for, I understand all this stuff you saying, but this is what I know to do right here today.
Yes.
And sometimes that's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're talking about prayer and like you acted. Okay, Lord, what I need to do? Okay, I need to pay these people. But it was like, why are we looking for something way out there when the practical stuff to do it is right here?
Yes.
And that was something that you were big on, talking about what a real man needs. Like, let him do what he know to do today.
Mm-hmm. Today. Yeah.
And then we'll go tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And so you were real good with helping bring me, because you used to ask me, it was like, boy, what if you didn't have faith?
Oh, God. Yes. Yes, I used to say that a lot because it was like, because I'm a worker by nature. I'm a get up and go do it type of person by nature. And so when I heard people didn't have stuff and stuff wouldn't work, it was like, okay, but if you didn't have your faith, what would you do? Mm-hmm. Because I didn't, I don't even really want to go there. I believe in action.
Yeah.
Pray, but let's act. Mm-hmm. Let's do all we can do. And I just felt like if I do all I can do, I'm going to allow God to get on that.
Yes.
Like, what do you do if you get fired from your job? Man, I'm about to cut every yard in every neighborhood, watch every car, and maybe God will get on it and a car dealership will call me. Mm-hmm. Maybe God will get on it and somebody will give me a contract to come cut all the schools in the county.
Yeah.
Like, I just believe in let's move.
Yeah.
Not I'm just going to pray and see what happens. You going to see what happens? I'm going to be out here dumping this trash.
Right.
You remember I did that. Remember early on, I got let go from my job.
Yep.
And I called the day labor people. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, I'm going in at 6 a.m. tomorrow to work the day labor. And you was like, to do what?
Yeah.
You was like, you really going? You was
I did. I was surprised.
He's like, you got a college degree. You going to how much they paying an hour?
You have a college degree.
Yes.
And you went to the day labor place.
Yes.
Yeah. That built respect.
Yes.
It really did. It built respect for me. And it's like, I want people to understand that, like you said, this is really not a fairy tale. Like, you were never looking for someone to come rescue you.
No.
And I can respect that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's easy to go with somebody, I wasn't trying to go, behind every man. I was tired of feeling behind. No, God. Like we walked together.
Yes.
And I felt like I was a better wife when I understood together.
Yes.
Partnership. I was at home. I did pray.
Mm-hmm.
But I also sought out other ways to help, like strength to strength.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. When somebody's going to stand with you, and I'll say this is what a man needs, you need somebody to stand with you.
Yeah.
Not behind you, with you. And I knew, based on the life I had lived, I needed somebody strong. Mm-hmm. Because when I messed around and got us put out, our first house, I remember I looked at you and I said, hey, you can go and stay with your mom.
Yep.
And take our son with you until I find us a place to stay. Mm-hmm. And you said, I'm going wherever you go.
Wherever you go.
You was like, if you go up under the bridge, you go. You was like, brother, I'm going wherever you go. Mm-hmm. That right there was like, oh, I got somebody now. Yeah. I can make some stuff happen.
Yeah.
Because when it gets hard, they don't run. Mm. Oh, see there, I thought he was a real man. I thought he's supposed to be taking care of stuff, paying bills and getting it done. And then here we get put out. It's like, okay, I made a mistake. I messed up. Mm-hmm. Didn't listen. For those of you all who are married or going into marriage, nobody sits and writes a bad script for their story.
That's good.
Everybody wants happily ever after.
Yep.
But then sometimes the unexpected happens. Mm-hmm. The unforeseen happens. Mm-hmm. I did not see my son wrecking my brand new car and totaling it. Mm-hmm. Like I had the car 2 months. That was the unforeseen.
You get let go.
And then I got let go from my job. We're downsizing. Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much. So this be your last day. If you go ahead and just drop that badge right there and on your way out, okay. Nobody writes that in the script. Mm-hmm. But then a man's gonna need support.
Yeah.
To get back on his feet, to get it right, encouragement. Yes, because now you're looking like, oh, you can't take care of your family. Oh, dang, bro, if you really had it together. Well, I did have it together. Mm-hmm. Until they let me go. So we need the same stuff y'all need.
Please
Men need the same things that the women need. We need the encouragement. We need to be built up. Mm-hmm. We need to be looked at with admiration. We need to be hugged and cuddled. And
I was hoping you would say cuddled.
All the stuff. We need those same things.
Yeah. And it took me, what was in year 17? 17. We were at a marriage conference. And the gentleman speaking, he said, ladies, we need the same thing y'all need. I promise you a light bulb went off on the inside of me. Because before, I wasn't treating Jock like he needed the same thing I need. Because if he had talked to me the way I had talked to him, I don't know if we would be here today. And I just wasn't nice. Because I thought that going off and telling you and showing you, walking out the door, slamming the door, jumping in the car, leaving like a fool. But I thought that's what, getting my point across, it meant. And I was like, man, I read this book one time and I was like, if you had done half the stuff that I had did to you, and I looked at that and I said, man, if I was married to me, I don't know if I could be married to me. Because the words that I used to say, the mean looks, the withholding, the not talking for 2 freaking days, just stupid, immature. And realizing that you needed forgiveness. You needed patience. Like I needed patience. You needed to be told it was okay when you made mistakes versus, well, if you had done this and if you had done that, you didn't need that. And I had to learn to be better, and I wanted to be better, and I didn't know I was blind. But when I sat there and I heard that man say that, and I don't think his wife could have said that, because his wife was, we get in these bad mode, I'm a real boss, I'm a boss, and all this other kind of stuff, and it's like, but you mean, I was mean, and I realized that was hurting the fabric of who we really are. I was like, we Jock and Rashima, but you was like, babe, you was like, I suck it up with a big straw and I just keep sucking it up. And it just got to the point to where he was like, we ain't gonna keep doing this like this. Because I remember you walked in one day and you said, I have feelings too. Mm-hmm. And that became real to me. And so I committed from that day forward, I'm going to be better. And so I just want to say again, I appreciate it. I do.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
And I appreciate you too. Here's some tissues.
Grab me one.
Kind of far away. There we go.
Thank you. Yeah. So
good moment there. Man, that was good. And for the brothers out there, hey, you may be dealing with a situation like that. That goes back to we still were friends. Yeah. We still had good times. Mm-hmm. But it was some rough days. It was some hard days. It was some things that were said, and it was like, I think I told you one time in the midst of an argument, I said, I wouldn't have said that to you.
You did. Yeah.
And that was my response. I was like, I wouldn't have said that to you.
Yep.
Because I don't think you could have taken it.
And I couldn't have.
Right.
I couldn't.
And I remember early on, we were like, hey, I was like, we got into an argument. I remember you jumped in the car, drove off. And I was like, well, where are you going? You got to come back. It's like, you got to come back, though. Like, just slam the door, skirt, just all that. Like, I was like, but you live here. You got to come back home. So, man, so all we say to you guys is this. Listen, find out what your partner needs.
Yes. Yeah.
Sometimes what they need isn't really what they need. It's just what they think they need. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes what they really need, they don't even know how to vocalize.
Yep.
You were used to drama.
Yes.
Used to drama relationships, used to arguments, used to fights with guys. My family was just the opposite.
Yes.
So God. Drama was just a strange thing. It was like, hey, why y'all going so crazy? Why everybody so mad? Whoa, calm down. Like, hey, we don't have to do all that. Let's just say, hey,
yeah,
you burnt my chicken. Just say it. You don't have to throw the chicken at me. And then it's like, we can cook some more chicken.
Boy, it was wild.
It was rough.
It's been an adventure.
Yeah. So really what we were talking about is it's been an adventure. But life is, and marriage definitely is.
Yeah.
So we do have to grow. We got to develop. But listen, guys, we're going to close out this episode with that right there. We want to always thank our sponsor, Dream Home Inspections. If you are in the need for any type of inspection, real estate related, commercial or residential, Dream Home Inspection can meet your need. And you can reach them at 678-516-9467. Hey, if you are interested in your business or your ministry being highlighted here, feel free to reach out to us, and we'd love to send you our sponsorship packages so we can highlight your business on Your Best Marriage Now.